YouTube, I'm back. This is your boy Alex. This is going to be back-to-back YouTube videos. It is May 30th, and I decided, you know what, why not wait until 2 to 3 days, do the video now, and it gives me 3 days to get to the next video, because the next video is going to be the best television shows, male and female. So this one is going to be a very, very interesting video. Now, men, you're welcome to watch the video. This video is going to be for women, because I don't want the women to be like, hey, you in here talking about all these badass men being action stars in movies. You ain't talked about the black women. You ain't talked about the white women being action stars. So this video is for black women who are female action stars. This is for white women. This is for sexy Latina mamacitas. Okay? So, if you're a woman and you're watching this video is for women. So, because you got some women who do some badass action-packed movies too, that are action female superstars. You got some females in there that are a female version of Jean-Claude Van Damme, a female version of Sylvester Stallone, Arnold. You know what I mean. So this YouTube video is continuing my movie series, and it's going to be called Sex Game, the top 15 sexiest, greatest women action stars of all times, from the 1970s all the way to now. Now, I apologize, that's a long-ass title for a video. I apologize if it's a long title, but I got the idea, because if I do one for the men, and then I do one for black men, then I have to do one for the black women, the white women, and the Latino women. So I have to put it on the list. It just wouldn't feel right if I didn't put it on the list. So I have to make a video of my favorite females who kick ass on the big screen. I'll do one for television. Just sit back, relax. I ain't got the television yet, okay? Just relax. This is like episode 3 in the series. I got like maybe 1 or 2 more episodes. If I get to 5, then we'll get to it. Coming in at number 15, tied at number 15, is Limo Hamilton and Sigourney Weaver. Now, both these women are legends and icons in Hollywood. Both are critical acclaimed actresses. Both have been in television and film. Both have been a part of great franchises. And you know what they both have in common? They both gave birth. And you hear me when I say, ladies, they gave birth to women being in science fiction and horror movies. And they opened the door for you to be a white woman, a black woman, and a Mexican woman to do science fiction, horror, suspense, thriller, and actions. And they are part of big Hollywood franchises of today. They did them back in the late 70s, well, one in the 70s, one in the 80s, and they both have something else in common. They directed movies with James Cameron. Oh, yes. Limo Hamilton, Terminator 2, Judgment Day. I'm not talking about that, Terminator Genesis and Terminator Dark Fate that came out, but I'm talking about the 2 Terminator movies that she headlined. And then on the other hand, we got Sigourney Weaver, who was in a movie called Alien, and then it broke into another movie called Aliens, and then you got Aliens 2 and Aliens 3, and then Aliens Resurrection. Those alien movies, way back when I was a little kid. Both women are a part of the franchise. Now, for the first time in a science fiction movie, a woman was the main character. Usually it was a man. This was the first time we had a woman as a main character. And she did very good. And then in Terminator 2, she went from playing this terrified victim to becoming this badass woman. It was like, what? Like, god damn. Like, this woman got into athletic shape. This woman was doing martial arts. This woman was like in her 30s, and she was just whooping ass. Like some of the best action scenes in Terminator 2 wasn't just Arnold Schwarzenegger. It was actually Limo Hamilton when she was getting down and served. I mean, when you get to the last 20 minutes of that great movie, Terminator 2 Judgment Day, one of the greatest badass movies of all times. No movie before or after ever comes close to that level of greatness. Maybe The Dark Knight, maybe one of the Lethal Weapon movies can come and get onto that level, but Terminator 2 Judgment Day is one of the greatest action-packed movies, hands down. No movie before or after can kind of come close to the level. Maybe Die Hard, maybe the Dark Knight movie can come close. No other movie touches it. Okay? She was in that franchise. And those movies were making millions, literally millions of dollars. No one had never seen a female character become the main character of Terminator. And for her to kill the Terminator, normally it's a man, but she did it, and that was the first time nobody had a problem with a woman being a main character in a Terminator franchise. On the other hand, you have Sigourney Weaver. She did very good in a movie called Aliens. Most of the time, it's a man fighting a giant alien, right? She she was in her 30s. She was rough. She was rugged. She wasn't exactly the typical cute girl. She was a I don't give a fuck who you are. I'm fighting an alien. I'm kicking the alien's ass. And all these men were tore to shit, and she saved a little girl. And then you had a continuation: Aliens 2, Aliens 3, Aliens Resurrection, where they gave her some superhuman capabilities. So she got to be in these 5 films in this franchise. And to me, if it weren't for Sigourney Weaver and Limo Hamilton, you probably would never get women doing all the movies that they do today. Think about it. You would not have women in Bill Kill, Resident Evil, Underworld, Mission Impossible. You would never have women in those franchises. Because these two women open the doors and say, we're going to open the door and say it's okay to be a woman, and it's okay if you're short or tall, because Sigourney Weaver was tall. And a lot of people didn't think she could pull off being physical, and she did with Aliens. And you see that she's been in Hollywood for like 4 decades, because she popped up in another big franchise directed by James Cameron, Avatar. You've seen it. The movie's 10 years old. I understand. You're mad. I'm frustrated. James Cameron, give me my damn Avatar 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hurry up and give me the damn movies already. I'm 34. Don't make me turn 44. Please hurry up and give me Avatar 2, 3, 4, and 5, damn it. Alright, moving on at number 14. Kate Beckinsale tied with Milla Jovovich. Now, I love the Underworld movies, okay? I love them. I mean, I love Kate Beckinsale. I mean, that woman is fine as hell. Like, if anyone could have played Catwoman or could have played the Black Cat, it's Kate Beckinsale. She got into athletic shape. She changed her diet. She changed the look. And if vampires were real in the movie universe of Underworld, it would probably be Kate Beckinsale. I mean, the girl with those guns, that black tight leather suit, the jacket. I'm like, damn, this woman is fine as hell. And this woman's from London. Oh, man, I already got a crush on this girl. I mean, that first Underworld movie was so badass that the main character was a woman. It was like, what if you made another Blade movie franchise and you made it a woman? And then you have the vampire and the werewolf falling in love. She's got to protect the werewolf because he's a part of a liking bloodline. And the wars between, likings and vampires. That first Underworld movie was great. The second one was better than the first one because she all of a sudden goes from being a regular vampire to being immortal. Then, of course, she came at the end credits of Underworld 3. Spoiler alert if you ain't seen these movies. And then she comes back in Underworld 4. It's in the futuristic timeline where the vampires have been ran away and the Lycans have been prisoned and the humans have taken over. It's what Blade 3 should have been. The futuristic version. And you get the 5th one in the franchise. So she's been in 5 films, and outside that franchise, she did another franchise called Van Helsing with Hugh Jackman. So she can actually play these movies. She can play with the big names in Hollywood. And now there's going to be an Underworld 6. There better be one. If not, I'm going to be mad. And to me, I watch those movies, and I don't have a problem with her being the main character. Like, she kind of came in and basically became the next Limo Hamilton. She may sound a little different, she may look a little different, she may be a little smaller, but if you think about it, she could have been Black Cat, she could have been Catwoman. Hell, if she was 10 years younger, they could have cast her to play the Black Widow, if it wasn't Scarlett Johansson. I'm just telling you what could have been for her career. Her career's taken off. And she's lasted this long because people seem to know who she is. On the other hand, we have Mobile Jovovich. She's a singer, she's an actress, she's a model. She done a lot of stuff in her career. She was like 12 or 13 years old. She was like a Ukraine model. So she did modeling, then she did singing. She put out 4 albums. I didn't even know that she was doing all of that. This woman's like a triple damn threat. I'm like, God damn, you model, you sing, and you act. And then she popped up in a movie in the 1995 called Fifth Element with Bruce Willis. That movie was a big hit. And what stands out in that movie was she didn't talk. All the other characters in the movie talked, she didn't talk. And I was confused because I was like, she's the main character of the movie, but Bruce Willis is protecting her. It was like they took the same concept of Terminator, remade it, and called it Fifth Element, and made it very futuristic. You got Chris Tucker in the movie, you got Van Rhynes in this movie, you got a lot of big names in this movie all trying to get this woman. And to this day, there should have been a Fifth Element sequel because it had potential. Then she works alongside one of the biggest Hollywood actors of all times, Denzel Washington, in a movie called He Got Game. So she shows that I can work with Bruce Willis, Denzel Washington, and then we see her some 5 years later, and we see her in a movie called Resident Evil, which became a big franchise. Then of course she's the main character, and the best part of that movie was she lost her memory, and then she had to fight to get her memory back. And then the fact that we saw her in the sequel, which kind of set up the run for the rest of those movies. Now, some of us like the Resident Evil movies, some of us are not happy with those movies. But she does kind of remind me of a person that I went to work with at Top Shop Top Man. Um, but I'm not going to tell you their name because they could be watching this YouTube video when this video go viral. And if they find out I'm talking about them in a good way, they might get too happy and too excited. There's like only two girls at Top Shop Top Man that remind me of these characters from the movies. But there was Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil Afterlife, which I thought was her best movie because she just got in better shape, better acting. There's, Resident Evil Retribution, then there's the final chapter. So she's been a part of multiple franchises. And to me, she's pretty much has got a solidified career. If she ain't on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, she will be. So that's why she's on this list. Coming in at number 13 is Uma Thurman. Sorry if I butcher her name, but she's been in Hollywood for 2.5 decades, and she's been in plenty of movies and television shows. She did pop up in Law and Order, so she has good acting range, but it was a movie called Pulp Fiction that showed could she play off of John Travolta, and she did. She played very well off of him. Then she pops up in Jackie Brown, and then she shows up in a movie called Batman and Robin as Poison Ivy. And then she does a movie that no one expected at her age. Nobody thought in her 30s she could pull off playing the bride in a movie called Kill Bill Volume 1 with David Carradine. You got Lucy Liu in that movie, Vivica A. Fox. You got Mike Manson, Michael Manson in that movie. You got Samuel L. Jackson. Oh, shit. You got all these big names in Bill Kill Volume 1. They went as far as to get Sonny Chibo to come out of retirement and do this one movie. And then she does part 2, Kill Bill Volume 2. They get another martial arts actor, famous martial arts actor, who's been doing this for 4 decades, and they get him to come out of retirement to do the training montages. And when I saw the fighting scenes, it reminded me of the song Wu-Tang Clan. And to me, those movies are good. And she got into shape, and when she put on that yellow jumpsuit, it was like Bruce Lee. It was like, oh shit. She had a samurai sword, the yellow jumpsuit. She came in the entrance. You could hear the theme song being played. And when the 88s came, the crazy 88s, and you see that scene with Lucy Liu, like you thought it was gonna be this easy, and she looked like, oh no, I expect you would do something like this. I'm like, oh shit. Like, this woman transformed her body for this role. And what stands out is you get the feeling that if they made a Bill Kill Volume 3, she probably would just go in the gym and get right into shape and turn back into that character. Like, to me, when I see her do those movies, I kind of be like, I better not say nothing stupid if I ever ask her out to lunch. I don't want her to come blading out with the samurai sword and go, all right, pay the damn dinner. So, yeah. Coming in at number 12 is Jessica Biel. Now, she's one of these all-American sweethearts. She went from a television show called Seven Heaven, which lasted like 8 or 9 seasons. I can't remember because it's 14 years ago. I just know she was on that television show Seven Heaven, where she played the sister of Matt. She had a little baby brother, little baby sister, and that was a family where they had life problems. It was a very big television show. Like, if it weren't for Seven Heaven, you probably would have never got shows like The Flash and Arrow, because even though Flash and Arrow are shows that have a lot of action and drama, they do have family elements in those shows, and Seven Heaven, all it does embody is family elements in that show. And basically, she went from that show to popping up in a movie called Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I mean, when she hopped up in that movie, I was like, damn, is that girl from Texas? Is that what Texas women look like? Ever since I saw that movie, I always kept telling myself when I graduate from high school and college and I go on road trips, I'm gonna take my ass to Texas. And my mom looked at me like, you ain't going to no Texas with that crazy lunatic on the loose. And it was based on a true story. And the way she transformed her body, and she convinced producers and directors to do that, and it led to another movie. It led to Blade Trinity, where again she got into shape, and again she pulled it off, and she looked even better in Blade 3. Then she pops up in, of course, Total Recall. Then she pops up in another movie. I can't think of the name of it, but I think 18. So she can do all these action movies. She can do a blend of comedy, romance comedy, horror, science fiction, action, thriller, suspense. You name the movies, her ass can do it. At her age, she can do these types of films. That's another character that a lot of people thought at the time before Gal Gadot was going to be cast as Wonder Woman, people thought she should have played Wonder Woman because she was tall, she was good looking, she'd been in television, she'd been in film, she was in part of 4 different franchises, and when people found out that she didn't get the part to play Wonder Woman, people was outraged because it was like, well, she looks exactly like Diana Prince from the comic book, like, and it was like she did Blade 3, so it's like, why not help her out with the character? So it's like, yeah, she has a good resume. You remember these movies, and she looked good in these movies. And to me, I think that if Marvel picked the phone up and say, "Hey, you want to come in here and play a comic book character?" She can do it again. I mean, if she can pop up in Blade 3, she can still, she still can pull it off. She got the acting range. So yeah, that's why she's on this list. I follow her career very closely. All right, coming in at number 11 is Tina Thompson. Now, Tina Thompson is one of these girls whose star just rise the minute she got into Hollywood. She did a movie called Creed. Then we see her in a part of a Marvel franchise. She pops up in Thor Ragnarok. Like, one of the most funniest parts of that movie is where you see Thor talking, and then she just takes him out with some powerful weapon, and he just drops to the floor, and she brings him in. You got Jeff Goldblum, and the fact that she could play off these actors the way she did it shows she's got great acting range. Yeah, we see her in Creed 2. Then she pops up at the end of Avengers Endgame, because someone said, how come she wasn't in Avengers? And then she gets to come back and be in Thor 4 Love and Thunder. So I can't wait to see what she's going to do in her career. I think her career is just getting started and is just going to get better and better and better. Coming in at number 10 is Ariel Dawson. Now, I actually like Ariel Dawson because she's what they call a dramatic actress. She can play any character of any genre. She's been in westerns. Do you know how difficult it is to get a woman to be in a western movie? She was in a western. I was like, damn, I didn't know she could do that. I didn't know she could pull that off. Then she pops up in a movie called Clerks 2, which is a good comedy. And then she pops up in a movie called Sin City. And I didn't think she could do it when they asked her, could you put on some weight? when she put some weight on, she didn't just look like this powerful female dominatrix. She looked like that she could put on the weight, and the weight stuck. And she had done it before, because when she did a movie called Alexander, she had to put on 30 pounds, and here she was expected to put on 30 to 35 pounds. And I was like, man, who is this in the movie? Like, I didn't even recognize her in the movie until my mom said, that's the girl from Clerks 2 and from Alexander. She just put on a lot of weight. And when she put it on, I thought she was another person. I was like, God damn, I can't recognize her. I mean, that made a lot of men want to go to LA Sanctuary. If you don't know what LA Sanctuary, you might want to take out your cell phone and Google it, because I don't want YouTube to censor my video and take the video down. But if you've seen 50 Shades of Grey, then you should know what her character is in the movie. And she played off of Clyde Owen so very well. She came back for the sequel, which I was surprised. She came back and did Sin City 2. So that was 2 movies. And now she's going to be playing one of the biggest characters in Star Wars that you could play, Asana Katana, from the Star Wars comic book and the cartoon of, of the Clone Wars. She's actually going to be playing a live version of the character. So for her to go from doing Luke Cage, because she was in Luke Cage, to getting ready to put on weight again and do it again shows that she got acting range. I mean, she also did the voice of Wonder Woman. A lot of people thought she could have played Wonder Woman. I mean, she's another actress that could have played Wonder Woman, but it's a lot of times it's not up to the actresses, it's up to the studios and the producers to decide who they want, who they don't want. And she didn't take it personal. You know why? Because she knew that maybe 5 or 6 or 7 years after that, she would get the chance to show that she could play a character similar. She gets to be in Star Wars television show The Mandarin, and then she's getting her own television show. So, yeah, that's why she's on this list. Alright, coming at number 9 is Jessica Albedo. Now, Jessica Albedo is an actress who's been around for 2 decades. I mean, she did pop up in two different franchises. She popped up in Fantastic Four. That's 2 movies. I know the Fantastic Four films, they suck. They're terrible. But then she also showed up in Sin City, where she was the main character, Nancy. And she killed it in those movies. Like, to turn around and go from playing the Invisible Woman to playing sexy-ass Nancy, you like, God damn. Like, who's this woman that's in 2 different franchises? And she also popped up in the 3rd franchise, Machete. I mean, she got to pop up in that. So she's been a part of 3 different franchises. Or should I actually say 4? Because there's actually 4 Spy Kids, anybody? Yeah, she's been in 4 different franchises. And you want to know what's funny? She actually did the first movies of all these franchises around the same time. She actually did Fantastic Four, Sin City, and Spy Kids in 1 year. 3 movies in 1 year. And when it came to the sequels, it was the same thing. So this woman can actually get physical. You don't think she can because she's small and petite, but if she can do Fantastic Four and then play a dark nature character in Machete and Sin City, you can get her. And if you go much back to when she was younger, she was in a television show called Dark Angel that ran for 3 seasons. That was like another concept of Vinda Nikita. Yeah, Dark Angel. She was on that show. So her ass can get physical. That's all you need to know. Alright, coming in at number 8 is Michelle Rodriguez. Love me some Michelle Rodriguez, damn it. Now, this woman's been part of a whole bunch of franchises. Fast and Furious, Resident Evil. Like, she literally was in 2 Resident Evil films. And she also was in a movie called Blood Rain. I mean, the movie did get 2 movies, but she was in Blood Rain, Fast and Furious, Resident Evil, Machete, where she played the girl who eventually had an eye patch. She was badass in those movies. Like, when people ask me, what do you think she does better in, Fast and Furious or Machete? Fast and Furious, she always gonna be the badass lady that we all know from the movie. She's good looking and she's badass. To me, her best betrayal of the character would probably be Fast 6 because she lost her memory. She couldn't remember anything, but she still could whoop your ass. Like those were some good fighting scenes when she was clashing with what's her name, Gina Gazan. She could fight. Fast and 7 was really better than 6 because who did she had to go up against on the big screen? She went up against Ronda Rousey. That was like finally, finally we gonna get to see it. And then they do a music video for that movie. So she looks good, but if you watch Machete and Machete 2, she stays playing that type of character. She's the only actress in Hollywood that can play those characters, and no one's gonna complain about her kind of playing like the same character. She makes it look good. And if you go back, she did a movie called Girl Fight that was based on a true story about a female girl being a boxer. And that's probably why Michelle Rodriguez and Ronda Rousey in real life are best friends. Yes, I do my research. Yes, I do a lot of research on these people. Because if I'm going to be a film director in Hollywood, it's my job to know these things. But she's been a part of multiple franchises, and she's a badass. She individually popped up in a movie called Avatar. You probably have seen it. So, yeah, she can get in these movies and kick ass and look good doing it. So, yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to tell you, don't be surprised one day if they make a spin-off called Letty from Fast and Furious. I'm calling it right now. Marshall Rodriguez is probably sitting at home watching the video, talking about, yeah, say it again. They probably might make a fucking spin-off of Fast and Furious called Letty. You think about it. You probably might go back to the beginning of how these two met. It's gonna happen. All right, coming in at number 7 is Halle Berry. You gotta have